Hello. Welcome to another edition of Johnny Stocks 212. Other people trying to sell you something? I'm just here to find those A winners, go-getters, trend-setting companies to invest in. Thank you for joining me wherever you may be. We got a great show for you today. Today we're talking an exciting biotech company called Kazia Therapeutics. Please read the disclaimer on your own time. So Kazia Therapeutics, they're really basically focused on oncology. So cancer drugs, drugs that hopefully pass the blood-brain barrier. They got basically two big drugs in clinical trials, which is really exciting. So, looking at the leadership team, Dr. James Gardner, MD, CEO, Chief Medical Officer, Dr. John Freend, and Karen Krummeck is the Chief Financial Officer. So I've heard James Gardner a few times. Sounds very good in these interviews. Basically, they got this paxalisib molecule, which is licensed from Genentech. And I really like what some of these companies are doing. Now, I know some people will say, this isn't their technology. They didn't come up with the molecule. But you know what? Listen, to some of these other companies, Sanofi, GlaxoSmithKline, Genentech, they can't take every molecule to market. I mean, it costs a lot of money. And, that doesn't mean that these potential medications could be breakthroughs. I'm really happy that you have companies like this, going out on limb, going after some really difficult diseases. I mean, blood cancers, brain cancers are terrible, really awful diseases. And that's what these guys are going after. So they have paxalisib is a inhibitor of PI3K, okay? And basically, it's been pretty well validated that it definitely targets a bunch of there's a lot of different inhibitors that are PI3K that have been FDA approved, with that going after that similar target. Multiple drugs are already approved for this, so that's great. But remember, the one thing that distinguishes this potential drug is it crosses the blood-brain barrier. So that's a really big deal. Reaching the brain tissue is very difficult to do. You've seen it in Parkinson's drugs. It's hard to get through the blood-brain barrier. And a lot of these central nervous system diseases, you need to cross that blood-brain barrier. So, and they have a lot of data, some experimental that shows that this drug can potentially do that. And that's a big deal for this PI3K inhibitor class. So I'm really excited about that. So let's look at the pipeline. So, like I said, the paxalisib, the small molecule penetrates the blood-brain barrier, PI3 inhibitor. So they have it for indications for highly aggressive, children brain cancer, DIPG. I mean, that's a big deal. Diffuse intricacies, glioblastoma. That's a terrible issue. Still in, potentially getting to phase 2 trials here. They have some data. I know they have reported some data in the phase 3, was not the best, but guess what? They still haven't reported everything. So there's still plenty of time. Let's see what the phase 3 results show up. Also cancers that spread to the brain from elsewhere, metastases. They have other indications too. So there's, indications in children, indications that's, spread from, the breast to other areas to the brain. Really, really awful stuff here. And hopefully, I'm fine with companies like these taking someone else's technology, other research. A lot of medicinal chemistry goes involved, and they got it licensed. That's great. I like companies that take, chances like this because I think there's big opportunity here. So the other one is their EVT-801 small molecule inhibitor. This is a big deal too because there's been a lot of targets. I don't know if you guys remember Avastin, bevacizumab. That's probably been around for a while. That drug, over $7 billion in annual sales. This drug here is targeting the angiogenesis, formation of new blood vessels around tumors. And You know, a lot of medications a lot of these medications were resistant. You know, Avastin, bevacizumab. You know, even though they had $7 billion in sales, you know, some patients developed resistance to that. So this is a new opportunity, another potential, you know, phase 1 trial that could potentially have a big, you know, could do a lot of good. So I'm going to definitely continue to monitor this. You know, let's see the data of the phase 1. Let's see what happens with this phase 3. I mean, they're going to be reporting it sometime around, you know, end of 2022, you know, maybe early 23. So, but there's a lot of, even if that one doesn't go through, they have, you know, we'll see. They don't have to have there's 2 phases of that study. They also have a bunch of other indications. I'm pretty bullish on this. So let's look at the stock price. So the stock symbol, KZIA, Kazia Therapeutics. Now, at the time of this video, it's $1.49. Okay, I do think that there could be some pullback. And the reason is, you know, this economic environment, I've been saying for a while, this inflation keeps getting worse. If they don't get the interest rates high enough, they don't knock it down, companies like these are going to get hammered. You know, if it goes down to the 75 cents, I think it will stay above $1. But if it gets hammered another 50 cents, I'm jumping in. I am jumping in because I think there's a lot of opportunity here. I do like, you know, a couple of good indications. I'm going to continue to monitor this company. I do think there's a lot of potential here. I'll continue to monitor this company. That's all the time we have today for this video. You know, if you did enjoy it, please make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. That would be great for our viewers if you enjoyed this channel, for me to continue making these videos. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful day.